If you're thinking of buying a house, let me give you a very clear heads up. There are certain type of houses out there which you should never buy. And a wrong type of house can drain your finances and can leave you with endless headaches. And as someone who has helped so many buyers navigating through this process, today I'm here to point out exactly what type of houses to avoid. And if you get any value out of this content, then please smash that like button and also do subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any questions about real estate, you can book a call with me by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. So now let's get right into it. So first is to avoid a house with a bad drainage system. So when you're on a hunt on buying a home, one of the most critical aspects that can be overlooked is a house with a bad drainage system. An example of bad drainage system is a negative slope. In this case, you can see the slope is towards the house. So for example, if there's a rainfall, the water is going to go towards the house as opposed to going away from the house, which is not a good thing because chances are high the water is going to seep through the foundation, which is a big red flag. And the example of a good slope or a positive slope is this. Here you can see the water is going to go away from the foundation of the house, which is a good thing or which is a green flag. And while viewing the house, I would also look for the condition of the downspout. So the goal of the downspout is to bring the water from the roof to the ground and further direct that water away from the foundation of the house. And in this case, you can see the downspout on this home is spitting water right next to the foundation of the home, which is not a good thing. And honestly, while viewing a house, if you come across something like this, I would stay away from that kind of house because chances are the water has been seeping through the foundation for quite a long time. But an opinion from your home inspector would be ideal in this type of scenario. But the solution for improperly installed downspouts are to have downspout extensions because that's going to help to disperse the water away from the foundation of the home. So second type of property I would not buy is a flipper home. Flipper home is basically where an investor buys a rundown property, then renovates it fully with an intent to sell it quickly for a profit. Nothing wrong with it. I have nothing against flippers. But typically, in order to do a flip, investors borrow money from a private lender, which is at a higher rate of interest. This puts them under pressure to make the flip as soon as possible. The point I'm trying to make over here is that in most flips, the renovations are typically rushed, which leads to low quality work. I see a lot of buyers who walk into a fully renovated house. They are happy. Everything looks amazing, shiny. They are excited that they don't have to do anything. It's just move-in ready. But the story can be different behind those walls. I'm not saying all flips are bad, but some are. So do make sure that you do your due diligence before making a purchase of a flipper home. Make sure you hire a qualified home inspector who can do an in-depth inspection of the house before you make that big purchase. Third type of house I would not buy is house with uncontrollable external factors. These are basically outside sources which might affect the value in a negative way of your home and might also affect your living experience. For example, you're in the middle of your house hunt and you finally come across your dream home, but the house is on a main street or is on a busy street or is close to a highway. I would not buy this kind of home. Reason being, no matter how strong the insulation is of your windows, it is still going to be noisy. Especially if you're someone who has kids, it is a big risk. And there are many other external factors which usually gets overlooked, which might affect the value of a house. For example, house next to a cemetery. Because not so many buyers wants to live close to a cemetery. So when time comes to resell your property, it might bring a smaller buyer pool. Similarly, I would stay from a property which is next to a fire station because at times it could get annoying when a fire truck's coming in and going out with their loud sirens on a regular basis or on a daily basis. And further, I would also stay from a house which is next to a railroad track because that could affect the value of a house in a negative way. Fourth type of house I would not buy is a row house which is attached to a poorly maintained neighboring property. Row houses are single family homes that share a wall with the neighboring property on both sides of the house. A lot of these can be found in Trinity Bellwood area. So if a row house is attached to another row house which is in a bad shape, it can lead to major headaches, which means any neglect on neighbor side like water damage, water leaks, pest infestation, all these problems can become your problem too. So do make sure you get a home inspection done before buying a row house by a qualified home inspector. Otherwise, don't buy it and move on. Fifth one is I would not buy a house with a bad floor plan. This might sound a pretty obvious one, but at times it does get overlooked. And an efficient and a good floor plan can make world of a difference in a living experience, but a bad floor plan can do the opposite. So I would avoid a floor plan with a narrow or a long hallway because it can eat up too much space and it will reduce the functionality of the overall layout. Let me quickly show you an example of a bad floor plan. So here's an example of a floor plan which I would avoid. Reason being, if you see, check out the living area, it's not the best best or most functional layout. Because okay, you'll set up a couch over here, but you don't have a space to set up a TV or even a coffee table. Let me show you the image of the house, or the picture of the house. So this is the picture of the floor plan which we just saw. So house looks great, no doubt about it, but if you see, it does not give you an option to set up a TV, couch and a coffee table, because on the right side there are stairs, and you cannot set up a TV on the right, and someone has to climb down or climb up the stairs, and you cannot set up a coffee table over here. So these type of things at times get overlooked. So make sure you visualize yourself living over there while you are viewing the house, or rate the house on the scale of 10. If it's a 7 or below, I would move on. But if it's an 8 and above, then you might consider it and then take the conversation from there. So I hope I was able to give you some value today. If I did, then please subscribe to the channel. It really helps a small channel like this to grow. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.